Yes. So we discussed definition. Hmm? Yes. Any question that you would like to ask?
Yes, sir. Why is linguistic referred to as a scientific study?
Well, in fact, I have told. In fact, I have discussed. While I was discussing definition, why is it called a scientific study? It is called a scientific study because it follows the general procedures of science, like observation, experimentation, hypothesis formation, speculation, analysis. Say we have testing followed by further observation, and like as I was telling you earlier, that after having attained satisfactory results, uh, they have confirmation and formation of theories. You have so many things. These things, do not have in say fiction writing or say drama writing. So that is why this is called as a scientific study. That's the reason we have language labs in academic institutions, same as we have for the science subjects. Like in wherever you go in universities and colleges, you would find language labs. Like you have chemistry lab, you have biology lab, and you have even language labs in academic institutions and in colleges and all. And it's not a pure science. Okay, it's not a pure science like chemistry or biology or physics. It is an empirical science. It's places somewhere between the natural and social sciences. Here I am reminded of a name, R.H. Robbins. Yes, R.H. Robbins. R.H. Robbins was called Bobby Robbins. He was very popular as Bobby Robbins. He said that language. He said that linguistics, in fact, social sciences. Why? Because it is not a natural science. It is an empirical science. So it is somewhere in between, say, natural science and um, and say social sciences. That is why he places it in social sciences. R.H. Robbins. It's a very important name, Robert Henry Robbins. Okay, he was a British linguist. Yeah, he places it in social sciences because it is that science which concerns human beings alone, unlike the natural sciences. It's not a pure science, or it's not a natural science, because in natural sciences you study about animals, you study about plants, whereas here the linguistics, they are not concerned with study of animals or study of plants. They are exclusively concerned about human language, as I told you earlier. What are they concerned about? Human language. Since they are not talking about animal behavior, animal speech habits and all, or speech behavior, or say plants and all. That is why it's not a pure science, it's not a natural science, but it is an empirical science, and you can either place it in empirical science or you can call it social sciences, as R.H. Robbins says. Okay. Yes. So linguistics is that science which studies the origin, organization, nature, and development of language. Development of language. Okay, I repeat, it studies the origin, organization, nature, and development of a language descriptively, historically, comparatively, and explicitly. Remember these three words. I'm writing them down. It studies origin of language descriptively. Descriptively. Okay, descriptively, and then yes, historically, and comparatively. This is very important. Remember these. Here we are talking about, we have discussed definition, now we are discussing nature. Nature. So language, it studies the origin, organization and development of a language descriptively, historically, comparatively, and explicitly, and formulates the general rules related to language. Okay, synchronic, or you may say, this is descriptive linguistics, is also called as synchronic linguistics. Synchronic or descriptive linguistics investigates how the people speak and use language in a given speech community at a given point of time. Like, the way people speak at this point of time is a topic of descriptive linguistics, which is called as synchronic linguistics. Remember this. Okay, so that you don't forget, I'm writing here synchronic. Synchronic. So the study of descriptive linguistics is at a given point of time. That is at present. Historically is through time. This is through time. Historically is through time. Is how languages evolved. Okay, how say, I would like to repeat, synchronic or descriptive linguistics investigates how the people speak and use language in a given speech community at a given point of time, whereas diachronic or historical linguistics, this is called as diachronic. Okay, remember, diachronic. We shall be discussing these terms in details also while we discuss different concepts of linguistics. Then we'll talk about synchronic linguistics and diachronic linguistics, but here I am taking them in a brief because this is just an introductory class. Okay, this is the first topic that we are discussing, and this is I'm just like familiarizing you with the terms. So descriptive is called as synchronic, which is at the given time, study of language at the given time, and historical is through time. Diachronic or historical linguistic studies the development of a language through history. That's why it's historical, or say through time. For example, the way in which French and Italian have evolved from Latin, or Hindi from Sanskrit, or say Urdu from Persian, for that matter. Persian and Hindi. Urdu has evolved from Persian and Hindi has evolved from Sanskrit, and French and Italian, these languages have evolved from the Latin. So what is it? This is a kind of historical study of language. In comparative linguistics, one is concerned with comparing two or more different languages, because comparative means comparison. So when you do comparison, you do comparison between two or more than two languages. This is what. So linguistics, what is it? It does descriptive. It studies language descriptively. It studies language historically. It studies language comparatively. Okay. So now you know why is linguistic a scientific study. You got the answer?
Yes, sir.
Yes. No. Any other question that you would like to ask me?
Sir, what are the subfields of linguistics?
Okay. Well, before I come to the subfields, let me tell you that linguistics is a science, that describes and classifies languages. The linguistics identifies and describes the units and patterns of the sound system, the word and morphemes, and the phrases and sentences. Okay, I repeat, linguistics is a science that describes and classifies languages. Describes and classifies languages. This is what it does. The linguist identifies and describes the units and patterns. We discuss units, like morphemes and all, units and patterns of the sound system. The words and morphemes. Morphemes are the minimal, unit of language. Phonemes are, just the letters. They are just the individual letters like pa, ba, ta, da, ka, ga. They are phonemes, whereas morphemes are small words. What are they? They are like words like cat, dog, table. They are morphemes. So they are the smallest meaningful minimal unit of a language. So yeah. So what do linguists do? They study words and morphemes and the phrases and sentences. Is it fine?
Yes.
That is the structure of language as comparatively, accurately, and economically as possible. So, linguists, they study symbols, the 44 symbols, then they study morphemes, they study words and phrases, sentences. This is what, like, the field goes on widening that way. So, is it fine?
Yes.
The part of linguistics that is concerned with the structure of language is divided into a number of fields. You were talking about subfields. This was the question. Please repeat.
What are the subfields of linguistics?
Okay, subfields of linguistics. Yeah, this is very important. Yeah, the subfields are very yeah. So the part of linguistics that is concerned with the structure of language is divided into number of subfields. We have been discussing about phonetics, phonology. These are the subfields. They are the subfields. Phonetics, phonology, morphology. We have discussed all these. We have discussed morphology. In your previous class, you have studied morphology. You have studied clipping, word formation, compounding, and all. So these are the subfields. Don't be confused. Okay. Okay, I will write it down so that you don't forget. Yes, people often ask, what are the subfields of linguistics? It's good that you asked me. Otherwise, I've been discussing subfields of linguistics. Yeah, subfields you're talking about. Here, I will just tell you about the subfields in brief. We'll have a detailed discussion also. Subfields of linguistics. The most important, I've been telling you, the core, if you remember my words, the most important field is phonetics. We cannot imagine linguistics without phonetics. This is the most important field. And then you have phonology. Then you have morphology. Okay, I'm just writing them. I'll be telling you one or two sentences later on. I'm just writing them first. Okay, morphology. Then you have, say, syntax. You have semantics. And then pragmatics. Last, though not the least, it's very important, pragmatics. And very interesting also. Yeah, these are the fields, remember them, because we have been talking about them all the time. These are the major fields. They are the subfields of linguistics. And like phonetics is the most important field. Phonology you have already discussed. Morphology also we have discussed in the previous class. Syntax we have been discussing right from our childhood. Syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. This might be a new word for you, so I'll be explaining to you. Well, phonetics, the study of speech sounds. What is phonetics? It is the study of speech sounds in their physical aspects. You may say phonetics is the sound system of a language in general. Okay, sound system of languages in general, I would say. It doesn't include any particular language, any specific language. When you study sound systems of languages in general, that means you're talking about phonetics. And phonology, on the other hand, is the study of speech sounds in their cognitive aspects. I mean sound system of a language in particular. Okay, when you are talking about any a specific language, that means you are talking about phonology. This is the difference. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
You know the difference between phonology and phonetics?
Yes, sir.
The difference is that phonetics is the study of sounds of languages in general, and phonetics is this study of sound system of a language in particular. Okay? Yes. Now you know phonetics, you know phonology, we move on to morphology. Morphology is the study of words, word formation. What is it? It's the study of formation of words, structure of words. Remember, like I hope you remember affixes. Do you remember we were talking about affixes? What are affixes? This is something very bad. I don't know. You tend to forget. Affixes, is a common word used for prefixes and suffixes. Prefixes and suffixes. Yes. This comes under morphology. Prefixes and suffixes. What are prefixes? They are added in the beginning of a word, and they are added at the end of a word. For example, I'm taking a circumfix. Circumfix is a word. Circumfix. This is also a part of morphology. Circumfix means you have say a prefix as well as a suffix. Means your root word, for example, say mind, for example. Mind is a root word. Root word is the word which can exist alone. Now you remember I talked about bound morphemes, free morphemes. So it's a mind is a free morpheme. It can exist alone. And here I put un. Un is a prefix and it is a bound morpheme. Why is a bound morpheme? Because un cannot exist alone. It cannot stand on its own. Full. Full is a suffix. Full also cannot exist alone, cannot stand on its own. It needs a root word. It needs a stem. The base form. This is base, this is stem, this is root, and they are bound. They are bound morphemes, and this one is free morpheme. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So now remember, we under morphology we talk about formation of words, how words are formed. There are different ways of forming words. We have affixes, we have we talk about bound morphemes, we talk about free morphemes, we talk about clipping, we talk about compounding. Compounding is formation of words by joining together two free forms, two free morphemes. Remember, blackbird, blackboard, green board. These are all compound words. So compounding, conversion, borrowing. Borrowing also, you borrow words from different other languages. Like English has borrowed a number of words. We studied that. So this is a part of morphology. Now you were talking about subfields, so these are remember these 6 fields. So you know what is phonetics, you know what is phonology. I'll be asking you, be very attentive, okay? And what is morphology? I don't know what have you done with pen. Yes, morphology. Morphology, what does it mean? Study of words, structure of words, or say formation of words. Now syntax. Syntax. What is it? The study or this study, or you may say the formation of sentences. Syntax is the study of the formation of sentences. Yeah, the structure of phrases and sentences is syntax. Is it fine? I repeat, The study of the formation of sentences, the structure of phrases and sentences is studied with all these things are studied under syntax. And semantics, semantic is the study of meaning. Here you study words, sentences in the whole, or say structure of phrases and sentences. As far as meaning of those phrases, those sentences, those words is concerned, you study under semantics. So this is the study of meaning. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Do I need to write them, or you just you understood?
Yes, sir.
Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So syntax, semantics. Semantic deals with the structure of sentences. This deals with meaning of those the phrases and sentences, clauses, whatever. Then we come to pragmatics. This might be a new word for you, I might say. There's a little difference here. Semantics give you literal meaning. It gives you literal meaning. This also gives you meaning, but here it is the meaning in context, in the given context. Okay, this gives you the literal meaning, and this gives you the meaning that the speaker wants to convey. The speaker wants to communicate. So what is pragmatics? The study of language use. Okay, language use means using language to get things done. Suppose if I say, suppose I say it's very hot. It's very hot. So literal meaning, I mean, as far as semantics is concerned, then you would say, yeah, it's very hot. But even as a native speaker, what do I mean by this? It's very hot, and you will understand that I mean that you switch on the AC or you open the window. Do you understand? Means they are the inferred meaning. So inferred meaning you get there in pragmatics. The meaning in context. The semantic is the literal meaning, and pragmatics is the meaning and use in context. Okay, this is fine. So here we discuss definition, nature, and you asked me to discuss subfields of linguistics. These are the subfields. Remember these subfields: phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, and semantics and pragmatics. We'll have a detailed discussion on all these fields also, branches of linguistics. It's important. It's very interesting also. This we shall discuss. Okay.